Welcome to the Weekly Hijack.
Hello, everyone.
So this episode was hell-bent, I think, because Doctor he'd already gone through hell, but now he was really hell-bent.
Yeah, now he's going to get something done one way or another.
Yes. I'm not sure it all made sense. In fact, I was lost most of the time. Moffat, stop hurting my head. Where do you want to begin?
I'll start. Okay, just all the standoffs with the Gallifrey people were awesome.
It was fun. Not the return to Gallifrey we'd always sort of expected.
No,
it was not under the best of circumstances.
Which is how it comes to Gallifrey a lot, actually.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, they tried to make him president back in, I think it was, Davison's run?
Yeah, I think so.
But they kept running off. He's like, never mind, I'm going home.
I know, it's weird because after the way they kind of ended it is like, at the 50th anniversary special, like Matt Smith actually looking forward to going back to Gallifrey to kind of come back to like, I hate you guys.
Well, there were consequences from last episode.
Well, yes, there were, and they definitely had to be taken care of. I'm still not sure all this flow works together as well as we had. Well, okay, here's a question just about last episode.
Yeah.
Before we get into more of this one. If the whole thing was in his confession dial, how come he could see the galaxy and the stars changing over the course of 2 billion years?
I was trying to figure that one out. This last week I was thinking about that. I'm like, I don't know unless the confession dial was, situated to make him feel like he's close to home or something like that. I mean, I don't know how the interior part of a confession dial works.
Yeah, that was just the one thing. Yeah, because I thought of that this week, and then something they said in here, I don't remember what. Because apparently they said he was in there for 4 billion years, 4.5 instead of just 2 billion.
Yeah, he's guessing by the stars. I mean,
yeah, so it's probably not entirely accurate.
Anyways, yeah,
they
just desperately want the hybrid thing out of him. Which is very interesting. They do this little sidestep about answering what it is. Yeah.
It's like the Doctor and the Shielder were themselves like throwing out fan theories.
They're like all the theories I've been hearing this week. You know?
Everyone wondering the exact same stuff. Because he said the hybrid is me. Which, okay, it was kind of weird that they were sidestepping all this stuff when the cliffhanger last time seemed to say definitively the hybrid is me, which would either mean himself or
he seemed to believe it was me. I mean, that was his argument. Yeah. A Shielder. That was his argument. She's like, you don't really believe that. So, yeah, I don't know. I find that a little frustrating. That they have this dangling plot thread. And Moffat tends to do, I like Moffat for a lot of stuff, but he's not particularly, he doesn't like clean edges. He doesn't mind it's like, I want to tell this story, and I'll give you vague endings, and I don't care.
Vague ideas of where this... And maybe he's playing a long game somewhere. Maybe he has an idea for what the hybrid he wants.
My guess is he has multiple ideas for end games, or for long games.
He's not ready to settle on anything yet.
I mean, I could be wrong there, but it does seem that's how he plays. I think that's how he played River Song to a certain extent.
Yeah, I could see that.
I mean, not in a bad way, just it's TV,
Yeah, true, yeah.
And it's time travel.
And it makes sense to have some dangling things. I would like at least a little sense of closure. It's like, okay, so why are the Time Lords so scared of this thing now? I had no clear idea of why they put him through all of what we saw last episode to find out about the hybrid, if the hybrid is not like an immediate threat of some kind.
Well, I'm not convinced that it was an immediate threat. I mean, all the cloister bells were going off. I mean, there was some major danger, and the Doctor was there, and he about blew up the universe for Clara.
Okay, yeah, that's true. So maybe that was the danger they were all worried about, and they were assuming it was the hybrid or something.
Yeah. I mean, now, jumping to the end, I would pay to see a mini-series of a Shielder and Clara running around in a diner. No, I mean, seriously, that'd be awesome. Big Finish, get on that.
It's interesting. You almost thought some of that last conversation was sort of a chiding of the Doctor for what happened to Donna. Because basically he was setting Clara up to do the exact same thing that Donna had done. Like basically forget about her whole time. Yeah. And Clara's like, no, that's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Although I was then really, there was some transition that didn't work very well for me to figure out, okay, Clara was like, no, I don't want you to do this. That's just like, okay, you're right. I'm being an idiot. Well, maybe we should both do it. And I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I couldn't understand, like, all of a sudden she had decided, it's like, okay, I'll still, like, hold on to this thing, and maybe it will be me, maybe it'll be you. It was that.
Look, I thought it was nice. I did think it was very useful. I mean, an effective twist to have him lose the memory.
Yes. It was an effective twist. The motivation for it was lacking.
Yeah.
For me.
So, like, it's the end of the universe. The Shielder's just there in her lazy boy, kind of like watching stuff. I mean, that's a character could see. I'd like to see show up more often. She's entertaining.
It's possible. I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about this episode in general. Just because, I mean, I'm okay with having loose threads.
Yeah,
but
I'm with you.
There's a lot of it that just felt thrown. I don't know if thrown together is the right word, but
to me, it's almost like the core of it worked really well, but all the extra stuff almost was just extra.
Well, it's like, particularly since the last episode did feel so tight and so compressed and well done, and this one was just like...
And the thing is, this is probably your more normal finale sort of thing. You know, they often have 10,000 things. You know, they'll reboot the universe or something ridiculous like that.
Right.
But, like, last episode was so tightly focused, you know, that... You're right, like... The first part of Gallifrey was really strong, and a lot of the emotional stuff at the end was really strong, and that middle part gets kind of funky.
Weird.
Yeah. There's like too many moving parts that you feel like, is this supposed to matter, or are we just doing this for fun real quick? Or?
Like I think you could have trimmed a lot of the episode, given a lot more time by change the whole cloister thing. That seemed like a complete side tangent. Like if you want the Doctor to steal a TARDIS, go have him go into TARDIS archives or something. Like it doesn't need to be this big spooky thing with like the other monsters that were trapped down there. For
the only really useful thing about it is one, they couldn't get to them. Which you could work around.
Yeah.
Two, he gets to tell a story about sneaking in there and having the download of the hybrid prophecy.
Yeah. But there are other ways you could have... I don't know. I just felt like that if you're looking for things to trim this down and compress like the most important ideas, that's something you could have trimmed a lot of that out, or just done it a little subtler, and and then have more time to deal with just fleshing out some of the motivations for why these things happened. But an interesting, I almost expected River Song to show up at the very end.
Yeah.
Just because I know she's coming up in this Christmas
question, and it's hard to figure out with Clara. We don't know what she said to Cloister, right? What Clara said to Doctor.
Exactly, no.
And she said, well, maybe it'll come out in stories and whatever. I mean, you think that's a long game thing? You think it's just going to be kind of a random like way to tie it up without actually telling what it said? Or do you think it's like, okay, crazy theory, I don't think it works out, but what I was thinking... Is it possible that the story of the hybrid and the danger of being that person came from Clara's story there and became a story? Like the whole warning about the hybrid came from Clara saying, "Be the Doctor, don't be a
war doctor."
Yeah, basically.
You think possibly she originated the
Maybe I'm just throwing. I mean, she's right there at the cloister, and they let the whole thing about things becoming stories.
So that would have.
I mean, Gallifrey time doesn't really matter. I'm not sure it works out. Random thought.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna touch that.
Yeah,
I have no comment. The other thing I would say, I would really love to know more, and they did mention it, but they didn't really answer it satisfactorily. Like, why was Gallifrey there in the first place? As far as we know, it was like in a pocket universe. It was frozen in time.
Well, and they're like, I thought it was frozen. Oh yeah, they got out. They're very clever.
Like what? It just seemed like
they do a lot of that here on Moffat. I mean. I like Moffat stuff generally. I think I've loved his run, but he does to do a lot of that hand waving for moving things around.
And I don't mind the hand waving in certain things, like Missy coming back. We talked at the beginning of the season. That didn't bug me at all.
Yeah.
But they've built up Gallifrey being gone for a long time. That's not something I feel like you should just hand wave away. I mean, I really want there to be some sort of
and maybe there will be some fallout from all this in the next season.
Yeah. I mean, and I'd be for that. I mean, if it did seem like they were putting some things in place with, even just having Gallifrey and that one general dude who we had seen before regenerating into a chick.
Yeah.
Because that's what Time Lords do now.
Apparently, like all the time.
Yeah.
I like the original look of the TARDIS. That's old school.
That was cool.
Yeah. I think we've seen that before, but
yeah. Overall fun season, kind of an uneven ending, but it's been fun to do this.
And the thing is,
I
think it was an uneven ending, but it's hard to follow up one like last episode regardless. I wonder if we'd be as...
Yeah, it's possible.
No, I agree that there's just some things like, why didn't you could explain that more? Or the emotional stuff was great.
Yeah. So I guess that's all we got.
All right.
If you've been listening to our Doctor Who stuff this season, thanks for listening. Stay tuned. We do Lost soon, probably in January, I'm guessing.
Yep.
And
Once Upon a Time, as long as it's on.
Once Upon a Time while it's on, and probably we'll get back to Doctor Who. Well, we'll see. Who knows what the future holds?
Yeah, exactly.
And I guess we'll have to do the Christmas special at some point.
That's true. Yeah, we'll do that at some point early in the year. Yeah.
All right. Meantime, this is Tim.
This is Nick.
Bye-bye.